Ladies and gentlemen, lean in. You were never made to disappear in the background. You were made to shine. Heaven crafted you with intention, design, and power. Greatness lives within you. No one else carries what you carry. The biggest threat to your destiny isn't your history, your environment, or your haters. It's the choice to doubt yourself. Today, I'm here to tell you it's time to step boldly into who you were meant to become. Authenticity is the bedrock of a powerful life because it aligns you with your true identity instead of chasing opinions and applause. When you choose authenticity, you stop performing for an audience that doesn't define your worth, and you start honoring the God-given uniqueness placed inside you. Too many people try to become what others expect, never realizing their real strength is found in being fully themselves. Living authentically isn't recklessness, it's realness. It's standing firm in your values, your beliefs, and your vision without compromising just to blend in. The truth is you were formed differently, and that difference is your edge. When you decide to walk in authenticity, you free yourself from the exhausting loop of comparison. Comparison steals joy, making you feel behind, less than, and lacking. But when you embrace authenticity, you stop measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. You start seeing your journey as significant, your gifts as valuable, and your calling as meaningful. This shift empowers you to stop trying to impress people who don't understand your assignment and to focus on being faithful to the path designed for you. Authenticity lifts the weight of pretending. And when you stop pretending, you gain energy to invest in becoming who you were created to be. Being authentic doesn't guarantee everyone will like you. That's exactly why it's powerful. When you stop striving to be liked by all, you start being respected by the right ones. You begin attracting those aligned with your purpose, values, and vision, and you quit wasting time chasing approval from people who were never meant for your inner circle. Authenticity functions like a filter, removing distractions and false ties while drawing in people who truly see and value you. This is how authenticity multiplies influence. People are drawn to what's real. They can sense genuineness, and that level of honesty builds trust. There is tremendous strength in being unapologetically yourself. Yet many fear showing their true selves because they fear rejection. That fear can shrink you for years, keeping you quiet while your gifts stay hidden. Authenticity requires courage because it risks being disliked, misunderstood, or criticized. But the reward outweighs the risk. When you are true to yourself, you gain freedom, peace, and self-respect. No approval can replace the peace of living aligned with your values and identity. Authenticity is powerful because it can't be duplicated. No one else has your experiences, your way of thinking, or your specific blend of strengths and weaknesses. That makes you irreplaceable. Too many people imitate someone else's path, not realizing imitation creates limitation. Authenticity sets you apart in a world of copies. When you lean into who you truly are, you become memorable. Originality has no substitute. That's why authenticity is a magnet for opportunity. People don't invest in what's fake, they invest in what's real. Living authentically also means acknowledging your flaws and failures. Authenticity doesn't pretend everything is perfect. It embraces your humanity. Your struggles, mistakes, and scars are part of your story, and they can become connection and inspiration for others. When you stop hiding imperfections and own your story, you become relatable. You give people permission to be honest about their own struggles, building deeper relationships. Authenticity isn't about flawlessness, it's about fearless honesty. Choosing authenticity also means taking ownership of your choices in your life. Blaming your past, people, or circumstances is easy. Authenticity demands radical responsibility. It means admitting where you are now, even if it's far from where you want to be, and choosing to rise with integrity. You stop living by excuses and start living by principles. Ownership is empowering because when you own your life, you reclaim the power to change it. Authenticity is living with integrity, actions aligned with beliefs and words aligned with heart. Deep confidence flows from authenticity because when you know who you are, no one can intimidate you or make you feel lesser. Your worth is no longer tied to performance or opinion. You stop living like a chameleon, changing colors to fit every room, and you become a lighthouse, steady and shining through any storm. Confidence rooted in authenticity is unshakable because it's built on truth, not public approval. That confidence changes how you show up everywhere, in relationships, in work, and in growth. When you are authentic, you also give yourself permission to grow. Authenticity isn't stagnation. It is honesty about where you are and commitment to becoming more. People confuse authenticity with complacency, but they are different. Being authentic means telling the truth about strengths and weaknesses, desires and fears, dreams and challenges, and letting that truth guide growth. You don't pretend to have it all together. You embrace transformation while staying true to your core. At its heart, authenticity is freedom. Freedom from fear, people-pleasing, comparison, and the prison of pretending. This freedom is priceless because it lets you live boldly and walk in purpose without apology. Authenticity unlocks real joy because when you're no longer performing, you can finally rest in being yourself. That's when creativity flows, relationships deepen, and confidence soars. Authenticity isn't just honest living. It's powerful living because you're aligned with who you were made to be. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. You cultivate it daily through your choices and beliefs. Many think confidence belongs to the charismatic, the flawless, or the photogenic. But real confidence has nothing to do with any of that. It's formed inside when you decide your value isn't determined by circumstances or opinions. It's the strength that comes from believing you have what it takes to meet any challenge. Confidence is choosing to trust yourself, your abilities, and the process, even when everything feels uncertain. When you choose confidence, you silence the voice of doubt saying you're not enough. That voice never disappears, but confidence keeps you rising above it. You tell yourself, I may not know everything, but I'll figure it out. Confidence isn't born in spotlights, it's built in quiet moments when you pick courage over fear and action over hesitation. It grows each time you push through discomfort and prove you can handle more than you imagined. The power of confidence is that it doesn't require perfection. You don't need all the answers to carry yourself with boldness. Confidence often enables success, even when you feel unprepared, because it gives courage to take risks others avoid. People who wait to feel confident before moving rarely move. Confidence isn't a feeling, it's a decision that creates momentum. And momentum produces the feeling over time. You don't need everything in place to be confident. You simply decide fear won't stop you from showing up. Confidence reflects how you see yourself. If you constantly criticize yourself, you'll never build it. Choosing confidence means believing in your worth and speaking life over yourself, replacing insecurity with affirmation and faith. The way you talk to yourself matters. Your mind listens and shapes reality around your beliefs. If you believe you're capable, talented, and worthy, your actions follow. Confidence begins in thought and affects your posture, presence, and the opportunities you attract. Confidence is forged in adversity. It's easy to feel bold when life is smooth. Real confidence forms when you're tested. Every obstacle overcome adds strength to your character. Every challenge builds resilience. The bravest people aren't those with easy lives. They're those who faced hardship and chose to rise. Their confidence isn't shallow, it's rooted in proof they can overcome. Choosing confidence also means refusing to let fear steer your choices. Fear cages growth by keeping you comfortable. Confidence doesn't erase fear, it teaches you to act despite it. You may still be nervous or unsure, but you step anyway. That's the difference between the confident and the stuck. Confident people move forward even when it's uncomfortable, and every step grows their courage. Confidence isn't the absence of fear, it's mastery over it. Confidence is contagious. When you walk into a room with it, people notice. Your energy shifts the atmosphere. Others feel it when you believe in yourself, and that belief inspires trust. Opportunities often find those who appear confident, not always because they're the most skilled, but because they carry assurance. People gravitate to leaders who radiate confidence. It creates stability and reliability. Choosing confidence isn't just about you. It's about your influence and impact. Another truth: confidence can't be faked for long. You can project an image, but real confidence roots in integrity and self-respect. It comes from living aligned with your values, doing the work in private, and growing consistently. Confidence anchored in authenticity is steady because it isn't tied to a mask. When you know your worth, you no longer need validation. You stop living for approval and start living with conviction, and that's where true confidence begins. Confidence is a daily choice, not a one-and-time decision. You reinforce it with every action. Each time you step up, speak up, or take on what scares you, you strengthen the muscle. The more you practice confidence, the more natural it becomes. Confidence grows with evidence, and evidence comes from pushing into new levels. You can't think your way into confidence, you act your way into it. Every day offers chances to choose courage, and each choice shapes who you become. Ultimately, confidence isn't about being the loudest. It's about being secure in your identity and refusing to let circumstances define your worth. It's a quiet strength that empowers you to lead, create, and live boldly. It's choosing to show up even when uncertain because the potential inside you is greater than the fear around you. Confidence is a gift you give yourself. Once you choose it, no one can take it, and it will keep opening doors fear would keep shut. Being yourself is one of the most powerful choices you can make because it frees you from the pressure of a life never meant for you. Too many spend years squeezing into society's molds, copying others to avoid standing out, yet you were made different on purpose. Your voice, personality, perspective, and gifts were crafted to fulfill a purpose only you can carry. When you choose to be yourself, you embrace originality, and that becomes your greatest strength. The world is full of imitation, but those who truly leave a mark are unapologetically authentic. Nothing is more exhausting than pretending. Trying to fit versions others expect drains you and steals the joy of living fully. Each time you mute your true self for approval, you surrender a piece of your confidence. That way of living keeps you stuck because you're building on someone else's blueprint. You were never meant to follow their plan. You were meant to create your own. When you stop trying to impress and start honoring your individuality, you discover peace and freedom found nowhere else. Being yourself means embracing every part of you, even the parts others don't understand. It means being comfortable with strengths and weaknesses. Both are part of your story. You're not meant to be perfect, and authenticity doesn't require perfection, it requires honesty. The more honest you are about who you are, the stronger and more confident you become. Those who truly love and respect you will accept you. Those who don't aren't meant for your path. Authenticity filters out superficial ties and leaves relationships that are real and meaningful. When you choose to be yourself, you also give others permission to do the same. Authenticity is rare, which is why it's compelling. In a world of filters, facades, and false images, being real is revolutionary. Showing up as yourself inspires others to drop their masks and claim their true identities. Movements are born and lives are changed not by copies, but by originals living boldly. People don't connect with perfection, they connect with humanity. They connect with your story, your vulnerability, and your courage to be real. Trying to copy someone else breeds frustration because you're comparing yourself to a standard you were never designed to meet. Comparison is a thief. It robs joy, creativity, and confidence. Admire someone's success, but remember it's rooted in their journey, not yours. You have different experiences, gifts, and opportunities meant to produce a different outcome. Don't copy a life, master your own. The world doesn't need another them. It needs your unique expression of greatness. Being yourself takes courage because it can mean standing alone. Voices will tell you to change to fit in, that you're too different, too bold, too much. But your difference is your superpower. The traits that set you apart will set you ahead. If you try to blend in, you bury your potential under others' expectations. Bold authenticity creates influence because people trust and respect those who are real. You were created with a one-of-a-kind blend of strengths, talents, and experiences. That means there is no competition in being you. No one else has your lens, your voice, or your approach to solving problems. Your uniqueness is your advantage. Embrace it, and you'll see opportunities others miss. Many people forfeit destiny by chasing someone else's dream. The moment you stop copying and start living as your authentic self, doors open that were once closed. Being yourself also means accepting and learning from your flaws. Many hide imperfections, but those very imperfections can become strengths. They tell your story and shape your character. People are inspired by those who overcame, not those who pretend they never struggled. Owning your flaws removes their power. Your story becomes one of growth, resilience, and truth. Shame fades, freedom rises. Living authentically is a journey of self-discovery, learning who you are, what you value, and what you're here to do. It requires self-awareness and a willingness to grow without losing yourself. Many fear change because they think it means losing identity, but authentic growth reveals more of who you are. Growth doesn't abandon identity, it refines it. As you embrace your uniqueness and live authentically, purpose clarifies, confidence strengthens, and influence expands. You stop living for applause and move with conviction because you know who you are and what you stand for. Rejection is painful, but it's also one of your greatest teachers if you choose a new lens. Too many wear rejection as a label, believing they're not enough or worthy. But rejection isn't meant to define you. It's meant to refine you. Every no is redirection, pushing you toward where you belong. Rejection isn't a measure of your value. It's feedback that something wasn't aligned in that moment. See it not as a closed door, but as guidance to the right one. Many let rejection halt their pursuit. They treat one no as a final verdict, when it's often proof they're growing. Every success story holds chapters of rejection and setbacks. The difference is they refuse to let rejection become identity. They didn't call it failure, they called it a lesson. Change your perspective and you reclaim your power. Rejection loses the ability to paralyze you because you accept it as part of the process. Often, rejection is protection in disguise. Some opportunities or relationships may look good but aren't good for you. Rejection can shield you from harm or limitation. A closed door can feel crushing now, but over time it proves a blessing. Trusting this takes faith because in the moment rejection feels like loss. In reality, it often sets up something better. Today's rejection can position tomorrow's breakthrough. Rejection tries to plant insecurity. It tempts you to question your worth. But rejection is rarely about your value. Often it's timing, fit, or factors you can't control. If you let rejection define you, you'll carry shame and doubt you were never meant to bear. Separate worth from validation. Your value isn't determined by acceptance or dismissal. You are valuable because of who you are. Rejection also reveals resilience. Every time you face it and move forward, you prove your strength. Each no you overcome builds toughness and maturity. It teaches you to handle disappointment, adapt, and persevere. Rejection doesn't have to break you. It can build you if you let it shape your mindset. The more courage you bring to rejection, the less power it holds. Sometimes rejection mirrors areas for growth. Not all no's are negative, some are feedback. With humility, you can learn, sharpen, refine, and strategize. Those who fear rejection never examine its lessons. Those who embrace it become stronger. Rejection doesn't mean you're incapable. It may mean your approach needs adjusting. That awareness is a gift. Rejection exposes what truly belongs in your life. Not everyone can go where you're headed. Not every door is yours. When someone rejects you, it can feel like loss, but often it's pruning, removing what can't carry your calling. The pain comes from releasing what you thought you needed, but that pain leads to freedom. Rejection creates space for the right people and opportunities. What leaves makes room for what's meant to stay. View rejection as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. You'll take more risks because no's won't scare you. You'll pursue bigger opportunities because no doesn't mean never. It can mean not now or not this way. Rejection signals you're stretching beyond comfort, which is exactly where growth happens. If you never hear no, you're likely not aiming high enough. Rejection is natural in any great pursuit and proves you're placing yourself where success is possible. Rejection also strengthens identity. When you're rejected and still stand tall, you prove your worth isn't tied to opinions. That confidence makes you unshakable. You stop living for approval and start living with conviction. You learn to trust yourself and your vision even when others don't yet see it. Many great leaders were rejected repeatedly before acceptance. Their confidence kept them moving until the world caught up. Ultimately, rejection is necessary for becoming who you're meant to be. It strips false identities, reveals resilience, and forces growth. It hurts, but that pressure shapes you into a stronger, wiser, more focused version of yourself. When you stop letting rejection define you, you step into freedom that empowers bolder risks, bigger dreams, and opportunities fear would have stolen. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to fulfillment because it traps people in hesitation and doubt. It whispers that you're not ready, capable, or likely to succeed. Fear doesn't need volume, only consistency, to keep you from moving. The truth is, fear appears whenever you step into something new. But fear's presence doesn't mean you shouldn't move. Fear often signals you're on the edge of growth. That's where faith enters. Faith is moving forward when you can't see the full picture, trusting that courageous, obedient steps will lead you where you're supposed to be. Stepping from fear into faith isn't waiting for fear to vanish before acting, it's acting despite fear. People wait for a perfect moment of certainty, but that moment rarely arrives. The way to quiet fear is movement. Faith isn't having all the answers, it's trusting the one who does. It leans on something greater than you, believes in the unseen, and trusts purpose to guide your path. Fear paralyzes, faith propels. Fear thrives on uncertainty, faith thrives there too. Choosing faith means embracing the unknown as part of the process, not something to avoid. You begin to see uncertainty as the space where breakthroughs happen. Fear says if you can't see every step, don't move. Faith says you don't need the whole staircase to take the first step. Each time you choose faith, you strengthen spiritual courage and trust that you were created with intention and won't be destroyed by what you face. Fear is loud because it feeds on imagination, painting worst-case scenes. Faith uses that same imagination to envision possibility and purpose. Feed fear and it grows. Feed faith and it becomes unstoppable. You feed faith through action, affirmation, prayer, and belief that the vision in your heart exists for a reason. If fear can use imagination against you, faith can use it for you. Instead of rehearsing failure, visualize success, step into opportunities, And trust that internal vision manifests when you act. Fear often disguises itself as wisdom, making hesitation seem safe. But safety and stagnation often look alike. Fear keeps you comfortable and stuck. Faith doesn't promise comfort, it promises transformation. Choosing faith accepts discomfort as part of development. Greatness requires walking through fear because it only exists where growth is possible. If you feel no fear, you may not be stretching. Faith gives the courage to enter discomfort, knowing growth is on the other side. Choosing faith isn't reckless, it's intentional trust. Your dreams that scare you are invitations to a higher version of you. The vision you carry isn't random, it's divinely inspired. You will be given what you need to accomplish it. Fear pushes you to shrink. Faith invites you to expand. The life you desire is often on the other side of fear, and the only way through is forward. Fear flourishes in silence and passivity. Faith grows through bold words and consistent action. Don't wait for courage, create it by stepping out. Every choice for faith builds momentum, making it easier to trust yourself, trust God, and trust the process. Faith doesn't erase challenges. It equips you to face them. It shifts attention from the size of the obstacle to the size of the vision. With faith, obstacles become opportunities and setbacks become setups. Stepping out of fear into faith requires a shift. Fear focuses on what you might lose. Faith focuses on what you can gain. Fear clings to security. Faith reaches for abundance. Fear asks, what if I fail? Faith answers, what if it works? You will meet rejection and setbacks, but faith reminds you they're not final. They are lessons preparing you for breakthrough. The more you choose faith, the more resilient you become, and that resilience becomes your weapon against fear. Fear says you're alone. Faith says you never walk alone. Faith connects you to something bigger, God, purpose, vision, and that connection supplies strength fear can't match. When you rely only on yourself, fear magnifies limitations. Leaning on faith taps unlimited creativity and courage. That's why faith transforms. You begin to draw from resources beyond your own ability. Fear only holds power if you let it make your choices. Choose fear and you stay the same. Choose faith and you grow. It's a daily decision. You'll have to pick faith again and again in uncertainty and disappointment. But every step taken in faith builds evidence that you are capable of more than you knew. Fear tries to stop you. Faith pushes you forward, and that motion brings transformation. Your gift isn't random. You were created with a unique mix of talents, skills, experiences, and perspectives. That means the world needs what's inside you. Too often, people downplay their abilities, compare themselves, and assume their contribution doesn't matter. But your gift was placed in you with intent. It isn't meant to be hidden or minimized. It's meant to be developed, refined, and shared. Because your gift isn't just for you, it's for those you're called to impact. When you withhold your gift, you withhold solutions others are waiting for. People are on the other side of your obedience. Your gift may be someone's answer, encouragement, or the breakthrough that shifts an industry. Fear, doubt, and insecurity tempt you to hide. You tell yourself you're not ready, don't know enough, or someone else does it better. But your gift isn't about competition, it's about contribution. Others may share your field, but none carry your exact expression. That's why your voice matters. Your gift was designed to meet needs. Every generation faces challenges, and each person plays a role. When you step into purpose and use your gift boldly, you become a vessel for change. You never know who's watching, learning, and being inspired. What feels natural to you could be life-changing to someone else. What seems small to you could be monumental to another. Don't underestimate your ability or hide it in fear. Someone is waiting for you to rise. Your gift carries power because it's tied to identity and purpose. Passion, skills, and experiences have shaped you for a reason. The obstacles you've overcome prepared you to serve uniquely. Even pain can become part of your gift, building compassion, wisdom, and strength to help others. Nothing is wasted. Every chapter connects to purpose. Your gift is more than talent. It's a calling, and it's urgent. The enemy of purpose is procrastination. Many wait for perfect timing, but perfection never arrives. There will always be doubts and hurdles. You weren't created to wait for ideal conditions. You were made to move in faith, even when it's uncomfortable. Greatness isn't born in perfection. It grows through consistent action. The more you use your gift, the more powerful it becomes. Waiting only steals time you could spend growing and impacting lives. When you use your gift boldly, it creates a ripple. Your courage inspires others to show up fully. Influence isn't always immediate. Seeds planted today may bear fruit years later. Keep going even when results aren't obvious. Consistency matters. Your gift is a tool. The more you use it, the sharper it becomes. Your gift is also a responsibility. It was entrusted to you, and you're called to steward it well. Recognizing talent isn't enough. You invest time, energy, and resources into excellence because as excellence honors your gift, as you refine your skills, your influence expands. A neglected gift can't fulfill its purpose, but a cultivated gift can transform lives and open unimaginable doors. Your gift was made to make room for you, but that room opens only when you use it. Opportunity follows action. When you operate in purpose, doors appear that were once invisible. Your gift is a key. It unlocks your potential and releases blessings for others. The world is full of people living beneath potential because they choose comfort over calling. The moment you walk boldly in purpose, you move from survival to significance. No one else can do what you do the way you do it. Your voice, creativity, ideas, and story carry weight. That's why comparison is a trap. It tells you your gift isn't valuable because it doesn't look like theirs. But your difference is your advantage. Embrace it and you step into destiny while creating room for others to do the same. People are drawn to authenticity, and your gift carries an authenticity that can't be replicated. The world is waiting. Every time you shrink, doubt, or choose fear, something meaningful gets delayed. Your gift isn't about ego or recognition, it's about impact. It was given for a purpose, and there is urgency in using it. Someone needs your wisdom, creativity, leadership, and voice. Every moment you spend questioning your worth is a moment you could spend changing lives with the gift you've been given.